Up with the New Orleans Saints. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hey, guys, check me out.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Throwing deep for Galladay. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 23. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
That good for 19 and a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Breeze on the bootleg. The throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now a play fake here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Let's go. Interception, baby. Let's go. I'll go special.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Open man right side is Ingram. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On second down, Freeman. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Let's get it.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
He goes underneath to Freeman. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Picked off near the 32, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Breeze now on first down. Buying time to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
On play action, it's Breeze. Rolling to his right. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. Accelerating, and off he goes. And what are we return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
10 yards there to start the drive and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. They'll run here with Freeman. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now a 7-0 game. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Breeze throwing on second down. He sets up the screen to Jones. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Breeze. The left side completion to Jones. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
Yeah, I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Zebra, zebra.
Now Wilson on second down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But I believe the Giants got this back, and they will hold on to the possession. The Giants on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Coleman has it here right side. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Being chased out left. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brees. Underneath here to Hill. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout.
And much more. Ask for more tables today.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
They'll run the option right here on 1st down. This is Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, to get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On 3rd and long, it's Brees. And that will be incomplete as well.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And New York set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk it over here before what'll be an important third down.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Stop right there. Start. 380.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Riley Dixon now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is fielded at the 27. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. It's complete to Graham. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. On 1st down, Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, as the first half is winding down. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Lutz with the extra point. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And some room to maneuver. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And likely just out of field goal range, could be Hail Mary time.
And haven't we seen in recent years that the Hail Mary seems to be more successful in the NFL than before?
Absolutely we have. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Breeze. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half.
Here we go.
What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They go play action here on first down. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Now Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And a sideline pass, that's caught by Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Hey, easy.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And now look at him go. Past the 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On second down, Wilson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They go play action now. Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Dante Fowler in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Out onto the the field comes New Orleans. And they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
In his own end zone, it's Breeze. And this one is incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant. That'll bring up second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, 2. 12. 11.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Got his target, Samuel. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down.
21.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
4 down. 11. Check.
On second down, here's Breeze. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And a giant rush gets home as down he goes. Connor Barwin. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Fielded at the 33. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Stewart. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4.
Let's go get it, baby. Let's go.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. To the right and complete to Galladay. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Coming left, it's Freeman. Freeman with a fast feet and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Freeman again. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He'll get it up the middle. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Luke Kuechly. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Rosas puts this one through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there. They're hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Out onto the field. Field comes New Orleans. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
A give to Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Now, that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. The Giants on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
That gets them the 1st down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
He'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Here's Freeman, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
12.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Saints, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will head home next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.